Hi, I'm Andy DeBellis for NEtv here in Brussels. With me is the president of the Alliance for Liberal Democrats for Europe, Graham Watson, member of the European Parliament from the United Kingdom. Mr. Watson, the makeup of the Parliament hasn't quite been determined, but once it is, it's for sure you're going to have a few extremist voices in there. You got rid of some last year with the IDS. Now you're going to have some more. The difference is they're not outside, they're going to be inside the Parliament. Is that voice too small to be heard, or are they going to make a ruckus for you?
I think it will make managing the Parliament more difficult, more challenging. I think it reflects the failure of European governments to deal with some of the issues that give these people publicity and support. Issues such as immigration, for example.
That's evident from some of the early results as well, too. People seem to be disaffected not just by the economy, but by the kinds of things you just mentioned. What's the role of ALDE going to be in this? You've made the case that you should have a louder voice. The makeup of the Parliament doesn't quite allow that, though.
Well, I believe we will have a louder voice. It is true that the extremists are doing better. It's also true that the Liberal Democrats seem to be having a good election. And I believe we will once again hold the balance of power in this institution, and we will continue to push for a European Union that works and therefore deals with the challenges that its people face. And that means things like a successful, a coherent policy of integration of those we bring into our society to do the jobs for which we are no longer producing young people.
Do you catch any grief for being someone who believes in Europe and coming from a country that doesn't?
At home, certainly. Here in Brussels and elsewhere, of course, much less so. But I believe that even in the United Kingdom, people are recognizing that the European Union is essential if we're going to deal with challenges like climate change and energy security, or world population growth and migration, or international crime and terrorism. These are supranational challenges. Yes, they require supranational answers.
They cross borders. And finally, European Commission presidency is at stake here too. Should that be decided now or after the vote in Ireland on the Lisbon Treaty?
Well, the Council of Ministers seems to think we can leave the composition of the Commission until after the Irish vote. In that case, why not leave the decision on the President of the Commission until then?
Well, one follows the other. Do you think that the Irish have been put upon by being forced to vote, double jeopardy?
No, it's an Irish decision. It's not a decision that anybody else has made. It's not the first time it's happened. It happened with the Nice Treaty. It's happened in other countries as well. I think it's up to Ireland to decide whether they want to be part of this unprecedented cooperation between countries.
And finally, once the Parliament sits, we seem to be having some sense that the recession might end this year. What are the next overarching issues that you have to handle?
I would be delighted if the recession did end this year, but I'm not that optimistic. I think the first thing this Parliament has to do is get a grip on the policies that are going to bring us out of recession and convince the member states to put those policies into practice.
Thank you. I'm Andy DeBellis, NEtv in Brussels with MEP Graham Watson from ALDE.